Dort is the second dirtiest player in the league, and I'm glad that most fans are becoming privy to his antics. This is a disgusting act that does not belong anywhere near a basketball court, done against a player who has rather recently returned from a serious injury. Now, I don't want this video to be an OKC hate fest, because do I really hate OKC? No, I just moderately dislike them. But I do think that this team is becoming a great example of how quickly a dominant team can become incredibly dislikable based on their personnel. Shai is an amazing player. Realistically, he's going to be a top 40 all-time talent by the end of the season. And the narrative surrounding him being a free throw merchant has been a bit overblown, but oh my goodness, please stop moving like you're a dolphin out of water. I've also never been as high on him as other people do. Hard worker, yes, but I've always felt pretty neutral about him. Not like he's this super humble, quiet hard worker like some people portray him as.
But yeah, from the outside looking in, it seems like he works hard. Like you said, he's been playing at a high level for a very long time.
Shai, this is the guy you are trying to be. And of course, I don't know the circumstances of this dinner, but from an outsider looking in, if I was Chris Paul, I'd feel a little weirded out about this. A lot of fans find this team cringe, but the only thing that I've ever actively cringed at is Chet trying way too hard. Like, buddy, Oxtail, are you serious? I don't think something like cringe is a reason to hate on a team. The real annoyance with this team is with Dort and the overall attitude they have. Draymond Green is a literal threat to other players' well-being, specifically European big men, and Dort isn't that far behind him. At least with a guy like Isaiah Stewart, you know he's just going to throw hands. He has some dirty plays, yes, but most of the time, he's just going straight in for the brawl. I think Stewart is an example of a player who has anger issues rather than is being, more of a dirty player like a Dort or a Draymond. Though I do think Draymond has anger issues as well. When San Antonio beat them in the cup and Hartenstein and Caruso were whining afterwards about a foul, I think every single person outside of the highlighted area realized just how insufferable they were. Guys, you were complaining that this is a foul when you and your boys play like this. And of course I understand it's your team, you're biased for it, but if you aren't going to show at least some self-awareness or humility, I'm going to criticize you for it. Ironically enough, given the city, I think Boston is the perfect example of how just because a team is really good doesn't mean they're dislikable. Sure, they've had some cringe at times.
We did it!
But I've always felt that the core of this team was quite likable. Jrue Holiday is one of the models of a respectable athlete. Derek White is like a toned down, more talented version of Alex Caruso. Big Al is a respectable veteran, KP's chill, and Jason Tatum has gotten a ridiculous amount of hate over the course of his career, but I've always viewed him as a very talented player that puts in the work. Again, he's got some cringe to him, but I don't think that's a reason to hate on him. The only guy in this team that has ever at all been unlikable to me is Jaylen Brown, and even still, my overall opinion on him is pretty neutral. Some people do just hate on people because they're at the top and successful, and sure, dominant teams can get annoying if it isn't your team. But when you have guys doing this, or this, or this, and then throwing up their hands and saying, "What did I do?" it gets obnoxious. Then you have another guy claw away at an opposing team, getting away with excessive contact because the NBA is bipolar and can't decide how it wants to officiate teams, and when that guy gets it back, he complains about it. I don't see OKC repeating this year like a lot of people because this team has been far too banged up this season, and although the idea of get healthy once the playoff comes around is very common, it actually almost never happens. I can see some of the key guys of this group getting let go because of money, and Sam Presti using his picks and dark magic to get more pieces just around the core. Maybe with some new faces and time to mature, this team can become more likable, and I'm optimistic for that. And away from OKC, Nikola Jokic is a phenomenal example as the best player in the world. This man was giving crazy eyes to Jalen Williams like he's been in a gulag the past 15 years, but after the game, just total calmness and respect and knowing he shouldn't say something too extreme. Commendable behavior, because this man has had every right to lash out and cuss out every single player on OKC after the game, but he chose the high road. Jokic absolutely cares about basketball, but it seems like he doesn't because he might genuinely be the most humble superstar to ever grace the NBA. Yes, that includes Tim Duncan. And lastly, great job by the officials because I think that got this called perfectly right. Eject Dort and give the guys next most involved a penalty, but not one where they're out of the game, because one guy was standing up for himself and the other guy was standing up for his teammate, even if his teammate was in the wrong. Thankfully, it wasn't the announcers making this call either, because calling a non-basketball play that sought to hurt Jokic, because let's be honest, that's why Dort did it, even if he might not have been intending to injure Jokic, he was trying to hurt him. A flagrant one would have been egregious, because again, the point isn't necessarily how much contact was issued, but the fact that this play does not belong on a basketball court. Thank you all for watching, and if you enjoyed, please consider leaving a like, commenting, and subscribing, and also checking out this last video where I talk about the truth of NBA tanking. Have a great day, everybody.